Hey guys, it's Friday, and Friday means free patterns. So, last week's pattern possibility winners, this is kind of hilarious. I don't know that any of these people actually wanted patterns, but these were the first 5 names that I drew. The very first one was my sister Noelle, which is hilarious. She just posts on she comments on my YouTube videos because she loves me, because she's my sister. But she doesn't sew garments. She's a quilter. She makes rack quilts and she makes pot holders, and she can churn those bad boys out like nobody's business. But she's never made a garment. So I jokingly sent her a picture. I took a picture of the random comment generator and said, now you're going to have to start sewing because you just won my pattern contest. And she said, pick the next person. So the next person was sewing at midnight. So Vicki, if any of the patterns from my last video appeal to you, I will mail them right out to you. The one after that was Patricia Rainey, who said the kindest thing. She left the loveliest comment, but she wasn't interested in participating in the pattern giveaway. She either didn't like them, or she is probably like me and has more patterns than she really needs. Next was Viv Mom Sews. Again, Viv, if you want any of them, I will mail them to you from the last video. But I know that Viv Mom has lots and lots of patterns. And then the last one, this one's kind of funny. This is Crystal Sews and Stuff, and she's on Mayfield Fabrics vlog team. So I should have asked her because I just mailed her fabric for this month today. But Crystal, if you wanted any of the patterns from last Friday's video, I'll just pop that into your next package. And so that's last week. So let's talk about what I am wearing today. I am wearing Simplicity 8419, and I think this pattern, I've talked about this before in the vlog, but one thing I don't think I have mentioned is that I think this is the first and only time that I have ever bought a pattern. This pattern was on sale at Joann, and I picked it out. And I was with a girlfriend who doesn't make clothes. She was in there for some fabric for a baby car seat cover. And she ran into a friend of hers, I think it might have been a relative even, and they were talking over in the quilting section. So I had gone and chosen my, $2 patterns, and then I was wandering around in the apparel section of the store, and I was way back in the back. And I found this Maggie London, I think this is a sand-washed poly or something. It's incredibly soft, but it is not breathable, but as you can see, it's incredibly beautiful. I'll put some full-length pictures of my outfit at the end of the video so you can see what I'm wearing it with. But so I bought the pattern, bought the fabric, and made them together. Now I have bought patterns with fabric in mind, and bought fabric thinking I'm going to make them, and then not wound up doing that. So this may be the only garment that I own that I've made that actually came to fruition from my original choices. So this, by the way, 8419, there's 4 views of this. This is a quick and easy make, and I just think it's so pretty. I'm just wearing it over a black tank top and some ankle jeans, and I couldn't be happier with it. It's flowy. All right, so this week's patterns. Okay, so I don't think my choices of patterns last week took the world by storm. I'm not offended by that. I'm just gonna keep trying until I get it better. This first pattern, this has been reissued, literally, I think, in the last year. And I only, with all of my searching, found one of these. And it was on Etsy, and it was $15, and this is an original, and if it's worth $15, that's fine. You can have it, you can sell it, you can make it, it doesn't matter to me. This is Butterick 9612, and I just think it's hilarious. I want you to closely examine the pattern art and see that one of these guys is smoking a pipe and the other one has a cigarette in his hand. So welcome to the 60s, my friends. This is Mad Men Goes to the Beach. Okay, so while I was trying to research this pattern, I did come across a blog which I cannot remember the name of, vintage style or vintage fashion or vintage travel, or I don't know what it was. But if you search this pattern, you can find it. And it was a woman, and she had made herself this tunic here out of like a linen to wear over her swimsuit or something in the tropics. So this is the men's cabana set. So there's that one, 1960s. Next one is from the 70s, which will be quite obvious to you when you see it. This is a Simplicity 6029. And it's pretty darn cute. So it has a top, a blouse, and pants. So I think this is adorable. This one is in size 12. That's bust 34, waist 26.5. Okay, so it calls for lightweight wool, wool flannel, tweed, gabardine, double knit, matte jersey, jersey crepe, linen piqué, chintz, chambray, surah, shantung, challis, silk, linen, sateen. And the blouse, this one here, can also be made in a border fabric. So that's one heck of a versatile pattern. Pretty cute. This one is also from, I want to say, oh yeah, this is from the 70s, but late 70s. You can see the 80s style creeping in there, in her hair more than anything else. The pattern itself, I think you could make this up right now. I don't really feel like this is especially dated. The collar, you might want to take in a little bit, but on the other hand, I think collars are widening back out again. And so, I actually really like this. So you can do the little shirt jacket in short sleeve cuffed, or 3/4 or bracelet sleeve cuffed, and it has a cute elastic waist, and the pants are drawstring. This is a size 14 miss, and size 14 is 36 bust, 28 waist, and 38 hip, 9 inches below the waist. So I think that's cute. I couldn't fit into it, but I would probably wear that, make that and wear that. Now we're getting into the 90s, I think. I don't know how this pattern got so chewed up for not being super, super old. But this is a Vogue pattern, and it's 8159. And we've got some bishop sleeve and some big, heavy-duty yokes. I would leave the shoulder pads off. I'm sure this pattern calls for shoulder pads. But again, I think this could work for right now. And in size 10, that is bust 32.5, waist 25, and hip 34.5. Now this is a very loose fitting blouse. So, I mean, very loose fitting. So I feel like even if you were 3 or 4 sizes bigger than that 10, provided your shoulders and bust weren't too big, I really feel like you could probably fit into that. And this last one is more modern. I would say this one is from either the late 90s or the early 2000s. It's hard to tell with quick sew patterns because their pattern art is really consistent. So this is quick sew pattern 1067. This is a half slip pattern. And it is for nylon or some other kind of stretch fabric. And it's beautiful. I really like both of these. And so if you want a pretty half slip to wear, to keep your tights, to keep your dress from riding up on the fronts of your legs because you're wearing tights, boy, the first time that happened to me, I was at work. And I had to spend the whole day pulling my dress down. And I was an English teacher and I had middle schoolers. 8th grade language arts. I'll tell you, that's a barrel of laughs. So I learned pretty quickly that in the winter, if you're wearing anything cotton, you better have a slip and or tights on so that your dress doesn't walk up your thighs with every step. It's something I would like to avoid in the future. Okay, I did find another August make. All right, still not impressive that I only made 2 things, but I did make 2 things instead of 1. And I love this other make just as much as I love the first one. I made the Love Notions Allegro skirt, the long one. This is my second Love Notions pattern. I really enjoyed making it. It came up easily. It fits perfectly. I had no problems. I would like to make these little pants. I think those would be cute out of an olive or a black or something. You could do something kind of tweedy for the fall and winter and wear it with, I have a beautiful pair of blush pink brogues that are exquisite. And so if I did these in kind of a, maybe a gray tweedy kind of thing, I could wear it with those pink leather brogues and, you know, some kind of top, maybe a pink top. That's something to think about. And so here's my skirt. It's on this crazy hanger. I really don't know where this hanger came from. I probably bought it in a thrift store. I'm not sure. I bet this is from a 1970s pantsuit. You would hang your pants here and your skirt here and your blouse or your jacket on the rest. That's what I've just decided this is for, because I've been wondering about this, what the purpose of this is. Or maybe you just hook all of them so your skirt doesn't sag. I don't know. But there's that. And so here's the skirt. I put twill tape in for my drawstring, which I love the way it looks. I might go back in and sew that. Yeah, because I don't like the strings. It's got little pockets on the side. Oh, there's a threads that need to be nipped. And it's got side slits on both sides. And I made this out of our 100%, I was going to say 100% cotton Tencel that we have in the store, but isn't Tencel rayon? I'm not doing a very good job of remembering what this fabric is, and it's in my store. Anyway, it's been one of our most popular fabrics. This has got to be rayon, the way that it feels and the way that it drapes. It has a gorgeous kind of shift to it, like a cross weave, and it's incredibly comfortable to wear, and I just love it. I mean, I could not be happier with this fabric. I would make a dress out of this. I would make a top. It will need to be ironed. You can see here, I machine washed and dried this before I washed it, before I cut it out. And I machine washed and dried it after I wore it the first time. And you can see that my slit here has turned and is going to have to be ironed. And it's a little bit wrinkly. Now, I may not iron something like this to run errands with my husband, but for work, I definitely would iron it. And when I wore it with a little black and white striped V-neck t-shirt and my white canvas Superga tennis shoes, and it felt pretty darn cute. So I love this skirt and I highly recommend it. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Please leave a comment below if you would like one of the patterns that I mentioned. And if you were one of the winners from last week's Free Pattern Friday and you want one of the patterns, then contact me on Instagram at Mayfield Fabric. And that way we can message back and forth and I can get your email address. So I hope everything is good with you. Have a fantastic day.